Good afternoon there, and welcome to the next round of the Northern Talent Cup action here at the TT Circuit Assen. It's round 4 after 3 brilliant rounds already in France, in Oschersleben and in Germany at the Sachsenring. And at the moment we see the sun shining here, and it looks set to be another scorching day of action. The clouds have managed to stay off, and we're set for another great round of racing. Race 1 will take place now today at 5:15, 15 laps of fun. As we can see on our screens, we've got Jurien van Krugden on pole, the rookie. Second pole of the season. He was on pole at the Sachsenring in race 2, I believe. And to talk me through it, I should have Elliot York alongside me here.
You do, Chris, yeah. Sorry for the confusion. We've not got pictures in the commentary box yet, so I didn't know we were live. All I'm seeing is the MotoGP videos. So hopefully that gets sorted. Yes, good afternoon and welcome to round 4 of the 2022 Northern Talent Cup. We are here at the TT Circuit Assen. I'm not sure if you can see the pictures. I can't, so we'll just talk you through it anyway. But yeah, last weekend, of course, we were at the Sachsenring for 2 races, 2 incredible races. Kevin Farkas and Rossi Moore sharing the wins back in the Sachsenring. And yeah, this weekend, thankfully, sunny skies, a little bit of cloud. A couple of hours earlier, just after the MotoGP qualifying had finished, there were spits of rain. We were a little bit worried, weren't we, Chris, that might hang around for the race, but all good now. The sun is shining, so yeah, we should be getting underway shortly, and now I do have pictures I can confirm. So normality resumed. Sorry for that weird start to proceedings, let's say.
Indeed, but hopefully things will pick up with the action on track. As you mentioned, the sun is out. We've only had one race so far, and that was Lennox Fomara who took the win. I think everybody else will be quite happy to see the dry track conditions, including Dustin Schneider, who we just saw there on camera. He's on P3 in Oschersleben, P3 in Sachsenring, and P3 in the championship. He'll be looking to improve his standings. They're all trying to catch this man, the Hungarian Rossi Moore. He has been incredible this season, hasn't he, Elliot?
He certainly has, yeah. He's not finished off the podium yet this season. We've had 6 races, 2 in France, 2 in Oschersleben, and then obviously last weekend as well at the Sachsenring. He crossed the line first in both those races, won the first one, but exceeded track limits in race 2, which handed the early victory to Kevin Farkas. But yeah, Rossi Moore is the man they're all chasing. Farkas 33 points now down in the Cup standing. So yeah, big couple of races coming up here. We're halfway through the season now, so if Kevin Farkas, Justin Schneider, Lars Venomon, the guys closest to Rossi Moore in the championship, want to start making inroads, then they need to start doing it now, because Rossi Moore has been on form, but this weekend, this is the first time he's not on the front row, so could we see Rossi Moore not finish on the podium? His competitors will be hoping so, of course, for Rossi Moore's sake. He won't be hoping that is the case.
Yeah, absolutely. And we saw the number 46 flag there after a certain you-know-who. Rossi Moore through the Geert Timmer chicane on the final lap to take the win. Anyone?
Yeah, we've seen the number 46 do that before, haven't we? So here's the starting grid then. Van Krugden and Venomon, two home heroes, starting from the front of the grid alongside Dustin Schneider. Rossi Moore, Noah Kuipers, Lennox Famar on row 2. Julius Conan, Kevin Farkas and Tibor Varga on row 3.
Yeah, starting with row 4, we've rookie Matteo Massili with Valentino Herlich and Martin Vince. Kilian Olsler, Philip Novotny and Rocco Sessler just behind them, while Delano Greven, Maxim Schmidt and Rio Olofsson make up row 6.
Gertlicher, Deckers and Sidorov are on row 7. Lorink, Pomara and Frelsen on row 8. And Mikhail Prokesh on row 9. That is your starting grid for race 1 of 2 here at the TT Circuit Assen. A fantastic setting for motorcycle racing. It's known as the Cathedral of Speed, of course, and for good reason as well. And we're going to get plenty of speed and action in this race 1 of the Northern Talent Cup. Diego Lozano, the rider coach, was saying maybe the smartest rider will win today, not necessarily the quickest, because as we see most often in the lightweight classes on the road to MotoGP and of course in the Moto3 World Championship, slipstream is absolutely crucial, and Assen, there's plenty of opportunities to grab the slipstream. So it's going to be a very interesting race, Chris. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And just on the point of the slipstream, number 20, Dustin Schneider, spoke to our man on the ground, Oliver Seeley, and he was telling us that he could only get onto the front row by getting into that slipstream. He'll be looking to do something similar. At the front as well, trying to avoid giving people the slipstream, today's home hero Lars Venomon. He told Ollie that he'll be looking to make an early break. Maybe that is the way to handle this fast and flowing circuit.
Absolutely, yeah. I think everyone on the sort of front 2 rows from 3 rows if they feel they've got the pace, will want to break clear, but we know in the Northern Talent Cup it's just not as easy as that, and I can't see anyone breaking clear at this stage. Everyone's got a very similar pace, although Jurien Van Krugden, for the second time in 2 races, starts on pole. Of course, he was on pole back at the Sachsenring, so he's doubled up here on home soil. He was 4/10 clear in qualifying, but there was plenty of slipstream going on in qualifying, so the times aren't really reminiscent of maybe the pace that everyone has. Everyone's been super close in the free practice sessions, and as we saw at the Sachsenring, there was about 10 riders all fighting for victory in the early stages, so let's hope for more of the same today.
Yeah, absolutely, and perhaps slightly misleading the times. Even though half a second is quite, or close to half a second is impressive, it must be remembered that due to the mixed conditions across Friday, riders actually missed FP1 due to the rain, so they only had FP2 for practice. Yeah,
we've had a few mixed conditions. I mean, Friday morning was a total washout. I mean, the riders obviously got some track time, but it was very, very wet. The afternoon thankfully dried up, and of course they only have FP1, FP2 and qualifying on the same day, so they only had FP2 really to get used to the track and the conditions before qualifying, and now of course it is time for race 1.
Yeah, with so little time, anything can happen. Here we have the red flag. It's almost time to go. Elliot, if you want to take it away for us.
Sure will, Chris. Yeah, excited for this one. 15 laps of Northern Talent Cup action coming up here at the TT Circuit Assen. Good to see some of the fans sticking around. Of course, we've had plenty of them fill the stands this weekend already. So here we go then. Watch the red lights at the top of your screen. They will go out, and we will be underway for race 1 here at Assen in the Northern Talent Cup. And it's a great start from Jurien Van Krugden, the Dutch hero, from Lars Venomon, the number 77, also getting away well, but it's Dustin Schneider going second. But it will be Van Krugden getting the whole shot into turn 1. Schneider from 3rd on the grid, up to 2nd past Venomon, who's dropped to 3rd. Nothing to worry about so far. Just trying to see where Rossi Moore is. He's slipped down a place behind. Not sure who that is at the moment, but yeah, a good start from the front 3.
Yeah, looking at the second row at the launch there, it seemed Rossi Moore had gotten into the top 3 momentarily, but then dropped off the pace. Noah Kuipers is in 6th. Kevin Farkas is up to 4th. in where Rossi Moore launched from. Matteo Massili has also had a good start. He's gone from P10, he's up to P6 now.
Down the front, back straight then for the first time. Plenty of slipstream going to happen here as we see a change for the lead already. It's Dustin Schneider, the German, the number 20, so a fantastic start. And that is Rossi Moore making a fantastic start. He slipped one place in the opening exchanges, but he's clawed his way back up to second place. Van Krugten just showing a wheel at the inside of Rossi Moore there, but thinking better of it. So Rossi Moore on the charge already. A Seagull tries to get involved in the race as well. We saw what happened at Phillip Island with Andre Ini, so don't get too close, Mr. Seagull. But yeah, halfway around the first lap, Dustin Schneider leading from Rossi Moore. So the championship leader really has made a good start from P4. Just looking where Kevin Farkas is, he's made a good start. The number 20 there, he's in 5th. He started from 8th place. So the man second in the championship made a good start. But this is where we're going to see plenty of action.
Yeah, Rossi Moore he's gone out onto the green there, but he's not waiting around. Number 77, Lars Venomon, has just shot into the lead. And up the inside, do we have a move from number 36, Van Krugten? Not quite, he can't stick it, but Schneider, or Venomon I should say, leads coming around the final sector.
Yeah, Venomon also one of the home heroes, so both the Netherlands guys, the leading Netherlands guys in the title race in the championship, getting away well here. So it's Venomon who had a slightly disappointing weekend last weekend at the Saxon Ring, dropped from 2nd to 4th in the standings, but he's fighting back. Here isn't he on home soil, or he was.
Big crash.
The typical commentator's curse. That is a big crash on the exit of turn 1. That's Lars Venomon. What a shame for the Dutchman. He was just got into the lead of the race. I think he's had a little bit of a high side there out of turn 1 by the looks of it. We caught the end of it. Thankfully he's all okay, trying to get the bike started, but it looks like it could be race over for Lars Venomon. What a shame for the number 77.
Yeah, that's a huge shame for him. He's had such a strong start to the season, tapered off slightly in the last couple of rounds, and now this DNF is not going to help his championship case at all. He's dropped out of the top 3, as you said last week, and it looks like he's losing much more points this time around. Yeah,
we said at the start, didn't we, that Venomon wanted to get to the front and try and break clear. Was he just pushing a little bit too hard in the open exchanges? I'm sure we'll find out after the race. But yeah, real shame for Venomon on home soil, of course, but the main thing is obviously that he is all okay, and we've got another race tomorrow, so Venomon will be back out starting from the front row to try and avenge what just happened there. So back at the front then, it's left Rossi Moore leading the way. We see Venomon there trudging through the gravel, of course disappointed. I think we might get a replay of what happened. Here we go then. So coming into turn 1, Venomon in the lead of the race, and then he obviously tries to stand the bike up, and yeah, just gets a little bit out of shape on the rear, and unfortunately unsavable, and he goes down fairly hard. So yeah, like we say, thankfully he is all okay. But focusing attention back at the front, Chris, this is where the action is happening, and Rossi Moore had a little bit of a gap to play with, but obviously the slipstream effects through the fast kinks of 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15 brings the battle right back up.
Yeah, he had the lead, but now he's leading a freight train. Tibor Varga started P9, he's up to 2nd. Jurgen Van Krugten was doing his best to hold him off, and is Varga going to stick a move up the inside here? He is indeed. Nice and close, but clean, and can he hold off as we come through the next couple of corners? Van Krugten as well up the inside. No, he's too far back on Moore.
A classic turn 1 move there for Tibor Varga. Yeah, like you say, Chris, started from P9, outside of the 3rd row, and he's already up into P1. So yeah, fantastic stuff then from Varga. Used the slipstream to great effect down the home straight and just outbroke Rossi Moore down into turn 1. And outbreaking Rossi Moore, as we've seen throughout this season, is not an easy task at all. But how long is he going to hold the lead for, is the number 44? The answer to that is not very long, because Rossi Moore returns the favour down through turn 6.
Yeah, and he's going to try and build up that gap again, but there'll be no surprises here if that gap is cut down within seconds as they come through the fast and flowing 4th sector, where there'll be plenty of slipstream on offer for the trailing pack. Jurgen Van Krugten, he's putting up a great fight here for the rookies. He's dropped down to 3rd. He can't quite get back into 2nd place, while just behind him Noah Kuipers and Justin Schneider are battling there, and that's quite close. Or, well, it's so it looked on my camera angle, maybe just the wrong perspective, but it's quite a battle in the trailing pack, in the lead group just behind them.
It really is a great battle. We always see this, don't we? And you can see the slipstream effect coming into play here. If you've not got around about 3/4 to a second, then just as Rossi Moore's finding out here, you're going to get caught up all the way from turns 10 and 11, the double right-hander, all the way to this, the famous Gert Timmer chicane, turns 16, 17. They'll flick it right, then they flick it left, and then they'll get it stood up full power onto the front straight through turn 18. So another lap completed then. Rossi Moore leading the way, the Cup standings leader. And Kevin Farkas there, number 28, is doing well to claw his way up to the podium fight. Important there, as we see the live Cup standings. Moore, as things stand, would take a 42-point lead into race 2 over Kevin Farkas, number 28, but I bet my bottom dollar that is going to change all the time throughout this race.
Yeah, I think the people doing the live standings are going to have a busy afternoon, judging by how things are going so far. We've seen Rossi Moore has been the leader so far, but Tibor Vargas fought his way up. Farkas has been there, Van Krugten's dropped to 4th, and Dustin Schneider, Vince, Herlich, Kuipers and Fomara are all part of this lead group as well, and I'm sure we'll have a say in this podium battle.
Absolutely, and 3 abreast then going through turn 6, Rosenhoek, a famous corner here, of course, on the Assen circuit. Most of these corners are famous, of course. It's such a wonderful place to come motorcycle racing. Dustin Schneider diving up the inside. That was about 3-1 for the German on the number 20 machine. Fantastic stuff. So Dustin Schneider goes from about 4th place into 1st, but is he going to get overtaken here down into turn 9? No, not quite this time around, but this is fantastic stuff. Dustin Schneider creating something there at turn 8. Didn't think anyone would be overtaking 3 riders into one corner today, but Dustin Schneider has proved me wrong.
Yeah, he came from absolutely nowhere there to stick it up the inside. He's out in the lead now, but I don't see it lasting very long. We've seen them 3 abreast, 4 abreast, and I'm sure it's only a matter of time before we see a 5th rider in there to make it 5 abreast.
Yeah, we absolutely are.
We're not far off it now.
Yeah, we're going to see plenty of action down into this chicane, because the riders are pretty much full gas from turn 11, the right-hander, the second of the right-handers, all the way through the fast kinks that lead up to the Gertima chicane. So yeah, slipstream, like we say, coming into full effect now. Is Tibor Varga going to go for P1 for a 3rd time in a row? Not quite this time. Rossi Moore holds on to the race lead, but as we've seen numerous times already, with 11 laps to go, the lead has changed constantly, lap by lap. Dustin Schneider back down to 3rd, Kevin Farkas in 5th place, but they're all in the hunt here. I don't see anyone breaking clear unless something major happens. Let's hope it doesn't, of course, as Varga there just dives up the inside, but not quite this time around. Turn 5, De Strubben, we're going to see plenty of overtaking there. Saw in qualifying, I was watching just out on the outside of that corner there during qualifying, and there was plenty of dive bonds coming even in qualifying, and obviously the race is the race. So yeah, we're going to see plenty of overtaking down there as Tibor Varga now retakes the lead from Rossi Moore.
Yeah, I think this one's going to be all about timing as Moore tries to go back up the inside. We've got a lead group, and on the outside Dustin Schneider holds off the challenge of Van Krugten. But as I was saying, there's a lead group of about 10 people, 10 riders here. I think this one's going to be about timing, just staying with the front riders and just timing it on to perfection on the last lap. Gertima chicane could be your last opportunity, but there'll be plenty more before that to get into the lead and into the podium places.
Yeah, it's a good point, Chris, because the riders have got to ride smart in the latter stages, of course. At this stage, you just want to be making sure you're in the lead group, in with a shout when it comes down to the last sort of 5 laps, where it will get really busy. But as we can see here, through the fast kinks, that's Lennox Famara making his way up on the number 48 machine. Number 12 of Martin Vince, who started from the outside of row 4, so watch out for Vince, the number 12 there. He's just been passed into 5th place, but yeah, it's vital that the riders box clever here, especially in the latter stages, because as we've seen, the slipstream really does have a major effect, and obviously going into the last lap, as we've seen so many times here at Assen, it could all come down to that final chicane, the Gertima chicane.
Yeah, we've seen Vince come into this battle. He's still waiting on a first NTC podium. I think he's got a couple P5s to his name this year. One in the opener in France and in the last race in the Sachsenring. So he's coming into a little bit of form this season, so he might try to end that podium weight in the NTC. But again, it's about his racecraft, it's about holding on and about timing it right.
Yeah, Vince hasn't finished outside the top 10 so far this year, and you're right, Chris, a couple of P5s are his best result. He's 72 points down on Rossi Moore in the overall standing. So yeah, Vince, if he wants to have a shot at the Cup's title in 2022, then he obviously needs to try and get on the podium. But this is a good race so far from the number 12. It's a good race from everyone really here. They're keeping their powder relatively dry so far. Plenty of overtaking going on as Rossi Moore just moves over to the inside there, but Tibor Varga looking up the inside, but not quite this time around. We saw there Rossi Moore late on the brakes. We've seen that so often from the number 92. I'm just looking where Kevin Farkas is. Yeah, he's up into 4th place, so he's still in the hunt. This is, like we say, crucial for the championship, as yeah, this is where the action is, isn't it? All the riders in the slipstream getting really close. Obviously, full power on these KTM RC4Rs 250cc machines. That's turn 12. The famous run from 11 to the Gertrumer chicane is just an absolutely wonderful piece of tarmac.
Yeah, that's right. Flick it right at 13, feathering it back left and bending left through 14, 15 before into the chicane. It's just one of the best things to watch on the MotoGP calendar, and particularly on the NTC calendar, given such a close group of battle at the lead all the time. Anything could happen.
We've seen this battle at the front then, haven't we? Before, we saw it last weekend, of course, at the Saxon Ring. It's Moore versus Farkas. The top 2 in the Cup standings are now the top 2 in the race. They shared the victories last weekend over in Germany. Moore obviously taking both victories at the checkered flag, but when you exceed track limits on the last lap like Rossi Moore did over in race 2 at the Saxon Ring, you are demoted 1 position, of course. So yeah, Farkas knows how important this is to try and beat Moore, to claw back some points before the summer.
Yeah, I don't know if you just saw that there, but Massili just pulled off a brilliant move up on that left-hander to take 2 or 3 places. The rookie's making his way. He's up in P6 now, but I think he was down in P8 before he pulled off that move. But yeah, the championship battle, this is what we want to see. 92 versus 28, Moore versus Farkas. They've given us so much entertainment so far, and here's hoping we get plenty more over the next 9 laps.
We might get more here, Chris, as Farkas looks in the inside, but no. Again, Rossi Moore fantastic on the brakes. Maybe Farkas was just thinking better of it, of course. Plenty of time left, 8 and a quarter laps to go, really, for these riders. So they don't need to do anything too silly yet or try too hard just yet. They just need to keep composed, keep in the fight. And all these riders are still well within the hunt. And yeah, you're right to point out the number 46 Massili, Chris, because he's made a good start. He started from P10, so gave himself a little bit of work to do, but he's made his way through the pack and he's well in this hunt. So yeah, good stuff from the rookie, the number 46. Had a quiet weekend, as we said last time, out in Germany, but he's back on form here, back in the leading group, and he's well on hunt for a podium.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things I've noticed, a couple of riders are already exceeding track limits a couple of times. This is something that we'll need to keep a close eye on, particularly in that final sector. It's happened 2 or 3 times so far from the lead group. Just a couple of wheels slightly out onto the green. And as we've mentioned already, Rossi Moore has fallen foul of that rule a couple of times. We don't want to see anyone else fall foul of it.
Yeah, that's going to be crucial, isn't it? If riders are on a warning or one away from getting a long lap penalty, and of course on the last lap, if you touch the green, it's an automatic 1-place demotion. And with how close the riders are, especially on the back kinks, the famous back kinks here at Assen, it's very easy for them, even though they don't obviously mean to go on the green, for them to do so. So yeah, good. It's a good spot, Chris, and we need to keep an eye out for that. But it's still Rossi Moore leading the way then, and Jurien van Krugden, the pole sitter, is going to try at the inside. He's done that most laps, hasn't he, Chris? Van Krugden takes an inside line there down at turn 8, but doesn't lose any time, of course, and he's having a little bit of a look here, but again, not this time around. Rossi Moore, a nice wide sweeping line. He takes that wide sweeping line every lap, does the number 92. But yeah, Van Krugden keeping a good race here from pole. He was missed out on the podium after claiming pole last time out at the Saxon Ring, and he's desperate, of course, on home soil, part of the Bo Benschneider 64 Academy, Van Krugden is. So yeah, watch out for the number 36.
Yeah, absolutely. Number 48 there has just gone out on the track limits, but it would be great for the home fans. Oof, lovely. A lovely move up the inside. Number 36 into the lead now, is this? It is indeed, Van Krugden. So it would be a wonderful result for the home fans if he could hold on, and obviously a wonderful result for the rookie. It would be his first ever podium, never mind victory, and it would give those who've stuck around plenty to cheer about.
So the top 10 then, all in your picture, covered by 1.4 seconds down to Noah Kuipers, the number 18 rider. So 10 riders fighting out for victory in the Northern Talent Cup. What a race we have on our hands here at the TT circuit. Assen, the fans who have stayed around are being treated to a fascinating race, and it's all going to come down to the last lap, isn't it? So yeah, Rossi Moore still leading the way. Varga up into second. He had quite a few laps, did Varga, just slipped down the order a little bit, but as we've said before, if you keep in the lead group and use the slipstream to great effect and be smart about your racing, then you can easily claw your way back up, as the number 10, Herlich, sets the fastest lap of the race. So all these riders have got plenty of pace in their pocket here.
Yeah, and he set the fastest lap looking at my timing streams by a near half second, so he's found some good pace at a good time to push himself into this podium battle. So good to see Herlich back. He recorded the DNF in the season opener and was injured then for the following races. He made his return in Sachsenring, so it's good to see him return to form on track.
Yeah, he was still riding in pain with the fractured tibia he suffered on lap 1, race 1 in Le Mans, the season opener. So yeah, missed Oschersleben round 2 and then was back in the lead group fighting for victory in race 1 at the Sachsenring. Still riding with pain, and he's still riding with pain this weekend, is Valentino Herlich, the number 10. But yeah, this is very good stuff there on the white bike, the number 10. So look out for Herlich, as Farkas just waves his hand in disgust maybe. I'm not sure what that was about. He may be trying to tell the riders just to stick behind him, but we see that so often, especially in the lower classes on the road to MotoGP. But as Rossi Moore's demonstrating there, no one really tends to listen to when a rider in front of them does that.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen, and here we go again, Rossi Moore sticking the hand back. Your turn now, buddy. I don't think I've ever seen anyone follow that rule or follow another rider, particularly in the lower classes. We see it a lot in Moto 3, but it's about the chopping and changing in Moto 3, much like it is in the NTC. Nobody's going to follow anybody. If you get the chance to go in front, you're going to take it. And I think Varga, once again, out in track limits there.
Yeah, I didn't quite see that, Chris, but maybe he did. But yeah, especially when the racing's this close as well, if you try and allow someone to lead from the front, you're just going to get overtaken from the rider behind you who's hungry to lead from the front as well. So yeah, I think Rossi Moore and Tibor Varga's efforts to try and keep the riders behind aren't going to work, as Rossi Moore pulls out the slipstream. Jeroen van Kruchten, the number 36, also pulls out the slipstream. Who's going to get into the fast turn 6? Rosenhoek first. It is Jeroen van Kruchten, the number 36, and we can see there the different lines that Rossi Moore and van Kruchten take through turn 8. So that's going to be interesting heading into the latter stages of this race.
Yeah, absolutely, and we can see Varga is naturally there. It's hard to miss in that luminescent orange. And what's happened here? Number 10,
Valentino Herlich.
Well, just as we were paying our dues to him and our compliments, it was so good to see him back. I'm not sure, is it a technical problem? I don't think so. I think maybe he's just outbraked himself and is out into the gravel. Yeah, it looked like he outbraked himself down into turn 9, and of course the gravel's quite deep and it's quite difficult obviously to try and get yourself out. So yeah, Valentino Herlich, not quite sure what happened, saw the last of that, but yeah, it looked like he just outbroke himself or got a little bit out of shape into the braking zone and ran wide. So unfortunately we were just bigging Valentino Herlich up, so that's the second commentator's curse of the day so far, Chris. So we need to be careful what we're saying. As Dustin Schneider there sits up, has he got a mechanical issue? No, it doesn't look like he has. So maybe he obviously just ran wide onto the green and allowing the riders back through so he doesn't get penalised. So yeah,
potentially clever riding there from Dustin Schneider. Very
well played. He ran it wide coming through there and didn't veer back on. He's let the other riders pass and he's still part of the lead group. Very clever riding, to be fair to him.
So the lead group is now 9, down to Lennox Famara, the number 48, the podium finisher in race 2 behind Farkas and Moore. That was his first try podium of the season, and of course he won back in Oschersleben. So yeah, Lennox Famara, the number 48, one to watch out for at the back of this group. So we're down to 9, covered by 1 second. Fascinating stuff with 4.5 laps to go. We go through the turn 6 kink once again, down into turn 7. That's Masili getting very close there with the number 36. That's Jeroen van Kruchten, the Dutchman. So he's desperate, of course, for a home podium. Of course, Ben Schneider, the Moto2 rider, Dutch as well. As we just have a look back in the group. So yeah, we're just focusing there on Valentino Herlich. So he has managed to get out of the gravel and got going again, but unfortunately for Valentino Herlich, I think that's any hopes of point scoring in race 1 done and dusted. Yeah,
very disappointing for him. And it seems he's just going to scrap it out with a couple of riders further back, one of which is Julius Frelsen, who's making his return after a very close
Yeah, very close indeed. Almost too close for comfort.
Yeah,
I know
with just 5 laps to go, I think the action's beginning to heat up. Everyone's now getting a little bit anxious for track position. It had settled down at the midway point, but now it looks like everyone is battling for that, jostling for position.
Yeah, you're absolutely spot on, Chris. Like we say, it's really gonna start getting busy now with 4 laps to go in race 1 here at the TT circuit. Assen, who's going to lead into turn 1? That's Vinci on the number 12 on the outside. Varga dives up the inside at turn 1. Does he run it wide? No, he keeps it on the straight and narrow. But I think Rossi Moore's just going to punt Varga out wide. Yes, he is. So Rossi Moore a little bit aggressive there, but of course fair in doing so, has retaken the lead, the number 92. He doesn't like anyone leading for long, does he, Rossi Moore? He likes to take the race by the scruff of the neck and lead from the front.
Yeah, lovely move up the inside there as well from Massili. But yeah, Rossi Moore's racecraft has been excellent this season. That's why he's been on the podium in every race. He just knows when to go in front, when to chop and change at the front, and rubbing shoulders there between Vinci and Varga. And Varga on the outside, and he's chattering coming in here onto the left-hander.
Bit of contact there. That was definitely too close for comfort there. Varga a little bit aggressive, and obviously when the racing's this tight, it can be sometimes a little bit difficult to not make contact. So we're going to get a replay here. Yeah, so I think that's through turn 12. Very close indeed. Everyone just trying to get track position. There's contact
wheel to
there,
wheel.
yeah, between the number 44 of Tibor Varga and Rossi Moore. And Rossi Moore's a little bit lucky there, because normally when the front wheel comes into contact with rear wheel, the front wheel normally comes worse off. So yeah, thankfully all okay there, but a little bit of contact, a little bit too close for comfort, and it's really getting close here. The elbows out for Tibor Varga. They're just trying to obviously fight for track position, and when there's so many of them, it can be difficult to, yeah, like I'm saying, not make contact. But it is Kevin Farkas now leading the way with 3 laps to go. It's getting very busy here, Chris.
Yeah, you can see they're hungry for the win here. Farkas and Rossi Moore are going to battle for the championship all the way to the bitter end. Tibor Varga is a rider who wants to get his first podium or even win the season. A bit more experience than some of the other riders in the class, but yet to finish in the top 3. And I think maybe his hunger is just boiling over a little bit, in that he's pushing a bit too hard.
We have a long lap penalty due to an advantage gained in a shortcut at turn 17 for Dustin Schneider. So we thought we'd saw him backed off and let the riders through, but race direction don't agree that Dustin Schneider did that. So Dustin Schneider, number 20, has a long lap penalty. Dustin Schneider 3rd in the championship, of course, 54 points down currently on Rossi Moore. But yeah, flashing up on our timing screens, Dustin Schneider a long lap penalty, so he's going to have to take that before the end of the race as Rossi Moore dives up the inside. A cracking move there on the number 28, his title rival Kevin Farkas. But yeah, look, you can see confirmation at the bottom of your screen, Schneider a long lap penalty.
Yeah, that's a pity for Schneider. He was right in contention. Maybe if he pulls off a good long lap, he can get back within this lead group, but with only 3 laps remaining, it looks like his podium hopes are over.
Yeah, it certainly does, unfortunately, for Dustin Schneider. He's had 2 podiums in the last 3 races, a couple of top 5s as well, so he's been on good form as Dustin Schneider, the German. So he's seen him rise to 3rd in the overall standings, but it does look like his podium battle is over, unfortunately, for the number 20. So here we go again, 2.25 laps to go now, as they all rush to try and get the optimum line down into the Gert-Timmer chicane through turn 15, the fast sweeping left-hander, and then hard braking zone into here, the Gert-Timmer chicane, the famous Gert-Timmer chicane. And now with only 2 laps to go, this is where the serious business starts going. Rossi Moore's just pulled a little bit of a gap on 2nd place, Tibor Varga. Kevin Farkas is right there in 3rd place, Vinci in 4th, Dustin Schneider still there in 5th, but with that long lap penalty, of course.
Yeah, he's had a 1/4 of a second coming over the line there, Rossi Moore, but already that advantage is down to 10th. Tibor Varga is not letting him out of his sights at all, and neither will Kevin Farkas. Here comes Schneider on the long lap, and that's a pretty clean effort by the looks of things. He should be able to rejoin the lead group and pick up some good points. Yeah,
nicely done there for Schneider. So he's obviously lost ground. It's normally around about 2-3 seconds as the long lap penalty costs you. Obviously with all the argy-bargy that might unfold in front of him, he still has a chance of clawing back some decent points here. So into turn 6 we go. We've seen plenty of passing there already, and Tibor Varga makes it stick once again. So who gets the nice run through turn 7? Rossi Moore's going to dive at the inside, but no, not quite this time around. Well played from Tibor Varga to hold that, but this is going to change all the time now. 1.5 laps to go. Varga leading from Moore, and he's got Farkas at the inside of Rossi Moore. So Rossi Moore demoted back down to 3rd place, but gets the inside line there. Rossi Moore took a wide sweeping line. Fantastic move there from Rossi Moore to take the lead. Unbelievable.
Yeah, getting 2 for 1 there to move back into the lead. I'll keep an eye on number 48, just in 4th place. Lennox Famara, he's been part of this lead group the entire time, but he's just set the 2 fastest sectors in sectors 1 and 2, the fastest we've seen all day, and it looks like he's timing his run for the podium to perfection.
Yeah, good spot, Chris. Famara there, the Swiss rider on the number 48, just demoted that back to 6th place around about there. But here we go then, Gerttimer chicane for the penultimate time. It's Rossi Moore, the Cup standings leader, leading from Kevin Farkas, the man second in the Cup standings. You can see them there, the bottom right hand of your screen. This is a crucial race in the title race. Rossi Moore leads on to the last lap. Kevin Farkas is under pressure from Varga, the number 44, and Varga makes it stick around the outside. Classy move there on the orange machine for the number 44.
Yeah, last lap, here we go. Rossi Moore's got the lead. He's in the position he wants to be. Tibor Varga and Farkas will be searching for that slipstream. Turn 6 might offer an first opportunity for turn 7, I should say, might offer the first opportunity for a move into the lead. Let's see what happens.
Here we go then, Slipstream City down the back straight out of turn 5. Who's got the best run? Rossi Moore trying to dive out of the way of the slipstream, but I don't think it's going to work. Tibor Varga tucked right behind him. Now he pulls across. Rossi Moore going for the inside line, the defensive line, but he's not going to hold it. It's Tibor Varga on the number 44 who leads. Kevin Farkas now leads. He dives at the inside. Late break in there. Rossi Moore gets on the power early to try and get an inside line into turn 8, but it's Kevin Farkas leading.
Yeah, he got very close. I'm not sure to who it was. I think it could have been number 36 there. Right up onto the back of Van Krugten as he went on the power. But now he's in 2nd place and up the inside. Is that Vincek?
It certainly is. The number 12 making a move there on the number 44. So Farkas is leading then from Rossi Moore. Vince, the number 12 rider, is in 3rd place, but this is where it's going to get busy, isn't it? Down the back straight through the kinks, full gas all the way to the Gerttimer chicane. What's going to happen here? What's going to unfold?
Tibor Varga's taken the inside line there coming through turn 12, and he's up into the podium places, but can he hold it? There's about 5-6 riders battling for it here. This could go any way at all. Rossi Moore's dropped down to 4th, Varga's up into 3rd. Farkas leads, I think, coming round. No, and Rossi Moore's back in.
Rossi Moore then will take race 1 victory here in the Northern Talent Cup to extend his lead in the overall standings. Kevin Farkas takes 2nd place, and who finishes 3rd? It is Tibor Varga on the number 44 machine. It all came down to that last corner, didn't it? The run up to the Gerttimer chicane. Kevin Farkas led on the run up to it, but it was Rossi Moore who came out on top once again. That's his 4th victory of the season. He's won 3 of the 4 previous races, and Kevin Farkas, his compatriot, fellow Hungarian, just congratulates him on a great way. So fantastic race there, Chris. Action throughout as we predicted, but it is Rossi Moore, the standout rider so far in the 2022 Northern Talent Cup, who takes another race win.
Yeah, another Royal Rumble in the Northern Talent Cup. Weren't disappointed down to the final corner, and Rossi Moore, as we said, shows his racecraft, his bit of experience at this level to take the win, and he's increased his championship lead. My maths isn't great, but I must be up to 50 points now over Kevin Farkas. Or 40 points rather than 50. We'll wait for the standings to confirm that. I don't trust my maths on this one. It's good to see Tibor Varga squeeze onto the podium. Disappointment for Jurjen van Krugten. He was just a 100th of a second off, or just a couple hundredths off. A pity for him, but he'll have his chance tomorrow starting from pole once again.
Certainly will. Van Krugten there, yeah, will be, of course, very disappointed just to miss out on the podium. Agonisingly close. It does not get much closer than that, but P4, a job well done for Van Krugten. That equals his best finish of the season. Of course, finished 4th last time out in race 2 at the Sachsenring. He also finished 4th in Oschersleben as well. So he's had 3 4th places now, so that will be a little bit annoying for Van Krugten. But yeah, we've got race 2 tomorrow for the Polster to try and get on the podium. But what more can we say about Rossi Moore? Another victory in the Northern Talent Cup, the number 92, and like you say, Chris, sort of timed it to perfection, didn't he? Didn't lead out of turn 11 where the slipstream effect really comes into play on the run-up to the final chicane, and just timed it to perfection, as he so often has in 2022. And like you say, Chris, the racecraft from Rossi Moore, the Hungarian, has been exquisite so far in 2022. And talking of exquisite, that's a magnificent stand-up wheelie to celebrate another race victory.
Yeah, he's got talent, hasn't he?
Absolutely, yeah. So they'll make their way round, of course, waving to the fans and the marshals under sunny blue skies here in Assen. Weather forecast for tomorrow is a little bit mixed. It was today as well, so hopefully we get sort of similar to what we've seen today. Kevin Farkas high-fiving all the marshals, who obviously do such a great job here to keep all the riders safe. We wouldn't be going racing without all the marshals, all the volunteers, so a massive thanks to them. And Kevin Farkas second once again.
Yeah, a well-deserved lap of honour for Farkas. He's keeping the pressure on Rossi Moore to make sure he's not running away with this. And it's actually a Hungarian triple with Tibor Varga.
It is.
Hopefully that can kickstart his campaign a little bit before we head for the Red Bull Ring after the summer break.
Yep, still only one time this year that we've not heard the Hungarian national anthem on the podium, and that was for Lennox Pomara's victory in the Oschersleben. At the Oschersleben. So yeah, Hungary really going great guns here in the 2022 Northern Talent Cup. I'll put my teeth in at some point today. I'll make sure they're in for tomorrow's race. Yeah, Hungary really have a bright future, don't they? Triple Hungarian podium, like you say, Chris. Kevin Farkas and Rossi Moore, the two standouts so far in the Northern Talent Cup. But great to see Tibor Varga getting his first podium of the season.
Yeah, and what odds would you give when MotoGP eventually does go to Hungary that we see one of these young riders on the Grand Prix circuit?
Well, if they carry on like they are doing, this is just a replay of the last lap. Rossi Moore getting on the gas super early out of turn 7 to try and get the inside of turn 8. And this is where it all came down to Kevin Farkas leading there, but Rossi Moore got the inside line and held enough speeds to get a little bit of a gap. You can see Farkas there, super hard on the anchors, got the front end skipping away. Did well not to run wide or crash there, did Kevin Farkas, with the way that front end was bouncing around. But in the end it was Rossi Moore, the Hungarian, who came out on top. Yeah, hopefully, Chris, we'll be seeing some of these names on the World Championship in the not too distant future. Of course, we've got a few more steps on the road to MotoGP to go before they do reach the World Championship, but the likes of Rossi Moore and Kevin Farkas have been superb this year, especially Rossi Moore, who is yet to finish off the podium.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Looking forward to what tomorrow holds at the TT Circuit Assen. Hopefully more of the same.
Yeah, I'm sure we will get more of the same. If that was anything to go by, we did say at the start, didn't we, that the qualifying times weren't really representative of the pace that each rider had. It was quite spread out in qualifying. Van Krugten took pole by nearly half a second, and it was the top 7 within a second. But we didn't see that today, did we? The top 8 within a second in the race. We'll get the final results up. Rossi Moore taking a victory, just under half a second in the end from Kevin Farkas, but it was much closer than that throughout, wasn't it? That's coming up there as a 10th of a second, but on our timing screens it was half a second. Tibor Varga taking 3rd place, his first podium of the season. Martin Vinci 4th, a fantastic 4th. Ewan Van Krugten is 5th. Now this is different to what we've got on our timing screen, so I'm not sure what is correct.
Yeah, likewise on my screens it's a little bit different, so we'll take these ones with a pinch of salt for the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. So just going from our timing screens, it was Van Krugten in 4th, Pomara in 5th, Vinci in 6th, Dustin Schneider in 7th in the end after his long lap penalty, Noah Kuipers in 8th, Matteo Massili 9th, and Luca Gertlicher rounding out the top 10. So we'll try and get confirmation of the results. I think the timing screens are just updating now, actually, so maybe there was a few track limits penalties coming our way. So yeah, here we go then. on our timing screens, it's just flashing up. Pole sitter Van Krugden, number 36, a 1 position penalty due to exceeding track limits on the last lap. So Van Krugden then demoted to P5. That promotes Lennox Pomara to P4. Now here's the Riders' Championship standings. 38 points the gap now between Rossi Moore and Kevin Farkas. Justin Snyder remains in 3rd place. And there's the other runners and riders. Rocco Sessa dropping down 1 into 7th. Noah Kuipers up into 11th place. Kilian Holzer in 12th. Maxime Schmidt, Luca Gertlicher and Julius Konen rounding out the top 15. So yeah, we're just getting a few movements on our timing screens. I've just mentioned Van Krugden. He's slipped down to 5th place. We mentioned track limits probably would come into play with how close the racing was there, Chris, running up to the final chicane. It's very difficult for the riders to fight for the same piece of tarmac and not go onto track limits. So of course not necessarily their fault, but rules are rules. So unfortunately for Van Krugden, he slips to 5th place.
Yeah, we've seen it a few times throughout the race, and obviously 1 or 2 offenders on the final lap, so they have to drop down a place. It's a pity for Van Krugden, but as we said, tomorrow's another opportunity for the young Dutch rider. Absolutely,
yeah. It was a good race from Van Krugden and all of the guys there in the top 8. Justin Snyder doing well to finish within a second of the win after his long lap penalty. He'll be disappointed, of course, to have received that long lap penalty. But yeah, like you say, Chris, race 2 tomorrow. Another chance for these riders to race on this beautiful circuit in front of the fans here. Some of them sticking around. That's racing done for the day. So they'll all head back to the campsites or wherever they're staying, and I'm sure have a few drinks and have some food, and then get ready for race day tomorrow. We've had the Moto E race 1 and Northern Talent Cup, of course, race 1 here at Assen on Saturday, and then it's the big one on Sunday. Moto 3, Moto 2, MotoGP, and then FIM Moto E World Cup race 2, and then we'll be back on air for race 2 of the Northern Talent Cup. Of course, another rider who'll be wanting to make amends is Lars Venomon, who crashed out of the lead on the 2nd lap, was it, Chris? I think it was the 2nd lap, wasn't it?
Quite early, yeah, from the lead. Luckily for him, he remains in 4th position. Massili and Vinci didn't pick up quite enough points just to catch him yet, but he'll need a big result tomorrow if he's to keep the championship pressure on.
Certainly will. We're going to get the podium shortly. I can just see in the background there, yeah, the riders are making their way onto the podium. Tibor Varga standing on the podium for the first time this season. A job well done from the Hungarian. Kevin Farkas, 2nd place. Again, that's 3 podiums in his last 3 races for Kevin Farkas. Tremendous stuff from another Hungarian, and in the middle of your picture, standing on the top step for the 4th time in 2022, another Hungarian, Rossi Moore. Congratulations to all 3 of those riders. A fantastic race. But in terms of the title race, Kevin Farkas will be wanting to beat Rossi Moore tomorrow to reduce the gap back down from what it is now, 38 points. So yeah, Rossi Moore doing tremendously well to break clear of the chasing pack here.
Yeah, 38-point lead at this stage of the season. It's very comfortable for Rossi Moore so far. That's podium number 7, I believe. If my maths right, it's let me down once already today.
It is.
It's podium victory
7.
number 4 and podium number in addition to 3 other podiums. And we're about to hear the anthem for the 4th time for Rossi Moore, and the 6th time is the Hungarian anthem, as you mentioned.
Hungarian national anthem rings out around the TT circuit. Assen for Rossi Moore, and of course all three riders on the podium are Hungarian, so all three would have enjoyed listening to that on the famous TT circuit Assen podium. 7 races, 7 podiums for Rossi Moore. He's looking pretty unstoppable, isn't he, in 2022. Can he be stopped tomorrow in race 2? That's what Kevin Farkas and Tibor Varga will be hoping to do, of course. Here's highlights then of race 1. It was Jurien van Kukten, the Dutchman, starting from pole position, and it was a great start from pole position for the number 36 rider. Rossi Moore didn't get away too well from 4th on the grid, just got mired in the pack a little bit there, but it didn't take Rossi Moore long to pick his way through the group and take the lead of the race. It was very close in the opening exchange. It was very close throughout. There's the number 28 of Kevin Farkas. He started down in 8th place and made his way through to the top 2 in the cup standings, doing very well in the opening exchanges to claw their way up to the lead. Dustin Snyder there, the number 20, leading the way. That was Rossi Moore diving up the inside. And then Lars Venomon took the lead, the rider who started second, another home hero, but he unfortunately crashed out with the race lead in the opening exchanges. Thankfully he was all okay, so he'll be back raring to go for race 2, but at the front it was a fierce battle for the leads, constantly changing throughout. That was Valentino Herlich, the number 10. He was in the lead group, still suffering from that fractured tibia picked up in Le Mans. Contact there between the number 44 Tibor Varga and Rossi Moore. A couple of incidents, I shan't say incidents, but it was very, very close on the run up to the Goertzen chicane. This was the last lap. That is Rossi Moore taking the lead from Kevin Farkas, number 28, and it was Rossi Moore who emerged victorious in race 1 here at the TT circuit Assen. Kevin Farkas finishing second, Tibor Varga making it a Hungarian 1-2-3 here at the TT circuit Assen. Me and Chris will be back with you tomorrow afternoon after all the other races have been done and dusted here at Assen, but it is the number 92 leading the way. Can he be stopped? Find out tomorrow. See you then.